Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 187 of the Sixth Axis podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Kris Lipscomb, returning after a week off because I had to go and get drunk. Unfortunately, it was a terrible burden. With me this week is the internet entrepreneur, Kev Adsit. Hello, Kev.
I'm peddling my wares left, right, and centre. Will you buy some?
No. I'm glad you agreed on that, Lewis. Also with us this week is the man who is now like a teacher in that, Lewis Gaston. Say hello, Lewis.
Wagwan!
If I had an applause sound that I could play you right now, I would be.
You passed your thing in that, didn't you? Right?
I did. I passed my NQT year.
All right. Don't use your fancy slang with us.
So I had
passed
a
your
year.
CBT check or whatever it is.
After 4.5 years, we're still awaiting results. So I did my training year, and then I got NQT status. I've now done my NQT year, and now I've got QTS status.
So what's QTS?
And when do you get released?
It does feel like that.
Is QTS like QTEs? Are you having to
qualified teacher status?
It's not.
You don't just say like press X to teach.
Yeah, I was like in the middle of the day, just a child just shout at you. Right.
No, he just gets the symbols pop up on his HUD.
To teach English, press Y. I don't know why I went for Xbox controls there.
Weird. Twitter hellos. Oh no, wait, I missed a person.
I
missed a person.
There is somebody else here.
Also with us this week is the pub landlord, Dominic Layton, otherwise known as Dom.
I wish I'd prepared a really funny hello.
It's alright. I forgot about you for a minute there, so you couldn't watch me for that.
Well, you could use the extra time to prepare a funny hello.
Maybe next time.
Right. Twitter
Just
hellos.
shout it out when it comes to you.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll do some editing.
Twitter hellos. Tef says hello.
Hi, Tef.
Hi, Tev.
Hi, Tev.
Joanna says good evening.
Who does?
Joannos.
Hi, Joannos.
That's it for the minute, so maybe more people will say hello later. Right, time for the news. Firstly, in the news this week, Rise of the Tomb Raider will be coming to PS4 and PC in
Sorry,
2016
Rise of the what?
store. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Right, okay.
So that's
It sounded like you said Rise of the Troubadour.
No.
Different game.
I mean, that game is coming to PS4 and PC in 2016 as well. Just a different
Can't wait
game.
for Rise of the Troubadour.
So after the Microsoft incredibly cagey thing about, like, yes, this is a exclusive for Xbox Holiday 2016, where like it was just they were basically tricking people with the way they said it. Like where they're putting the pauses in the sentence and stuff. You're like, I don't understand what that sentence means. What? Like, please let us know. And at fucking E3, where it was like Xbox exclusive, and they had like a bar, Holiday 2016. I'm like, is that it's exclusive in 2016, or is that just the release date? Sorry, 2015. I mean, but what? Pick one. Jesus. And so finally Square Enix just seemed to come out and just gone, yeah, I guess it'd be like next year on PC and PS4. And that's so basically it. They've just given us quite understated announcement. It's a bit weird, but
so you
yeah,
get
that's
to play
what's
it for a
happening
year.
apparently.
I'm still shocked.
You get to play it for a year,
Sorry,
though,
Dom?
if you have an Xbox.
Yes. I mean, you don't have to. Like, they won't enforce that you play it for that full year until it's ready on the PS4 and the PC, and then they have to take the burden.
Are you
on
sure
instead.
this is Microsoft?
It's as far as I am aware, it's not mandatory. But yeah, it's just that they have finally announced that that's what's happening. So if you did want to get it on PC and PS4, I also think, well, a year isn't a huge amount of time. That's a good amount for a timed exclusive to have it for a whole year.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Like, I think I think that's a period of time where if someone really wanted to play it, they would at least consider buying an Xbox One.
Yes.
Like, that's long enough that you're like, oh, I really want to play that game. Okay, I'll consider it.
Problem is Tomb Raider that game?
I don't know if it necessarily is, but I think just in general, if you're talking about time exclusives generally, I will talk about Tomb Raider specifically in a moment. But yeah, if you want to talk about that generally, like, that is a good length of time because it's a length of time that people are willing to wait and they don't feel terribly aggrieved about it. But if you're a huge Tomb Raider fan, and there are big Tomb Raider fans out there, or a fan of whatever game we're talking about, like, I think a year is a period we'd be like, maybe I could get an Xbox One because I kind of really want that game. So, yeah, as to whether Tomb Raider was that game, I don't know. I thought the last Tomb Raider was a good game, though. I quite enjoyed it. It had its low points,
No,
but I thought it was good overall.
Really I stopped playing it after the first, I don't know, half hour.
I mean,
Really?
Yeah, because it was too dark. I got to the bit with the wolves in the wood.
I have not played it.
Yeah,
I couldn't fucking see them.
It,
So I like turned the brightness way up, but still couldn't see them, and I thought, oh fuck this.
so
There's no point me playing
basically,
against there's no point me playing a pitch black
basically
arena where I
you
can't
were
even
just
fucking see my enemies.
you're just really bad at it. Is what you're saying?
Sounds like you just sucked at that game, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Sounds bad.
Because I don't think I had much trouble with the wolf bit. So
Well, aren't you?
Did you
good?
give her the diazepam?
no, that's
Do-
a different
what?
game.
All right.
That's Sniper Wolf, not actual wolves.
I did look for the codex on the back of the box.
I
Yeah.
think it would have been
Oh,
really
yeah.
interesting if Tomb
Clever
Raider and
trick, yeah.
Uncharted 4 had ended up launching at the same time, like they should have done. Because, let's face it,
Yes.
chances are that PS4 owners would have come away a lot happier.
Also, that's the gaming world needs an excuse to be sexist.
That's true.
Not enough sexism in gaming, is there?
There's not, no. I know what FIFA should add women in.
No, that's ridiculous.
No.
You take that back.
Sorry.
Other news this week. This is just for you, Lewis.
Okay, I'm waiting. What is it?
Can you guess what this is going to be about?
Shenmue.
It is about Shenmue 3.
Yes.
Shenmue 3 set,
Greatest game never made.
it's being made now.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a shame. really good.
It set a new record for, I think, for game. I don't know if it's all funding or just game funding on Kickstarter, but it raised $6.3 million.
It's
Are
quite a
we
lot.
surprised? No.
Whereas the previous high watermark was 5 point. Sorry, yes, it is funding for a video game. So the previous high watermark was $5.54 billion. So $1 million. Sorry, so exceeded it by nearly $1 million. So the interesting thing about this, obviously, and something that the TSA community's been talking about in comments, is talk about the issues with funding, because $6.3 million dollars is still not enough to make a game in the scope they're intending to make. I mean, when you consider that the Double Fine Adventure game was like, I can't remember, it was still, it's a game that's much smaller in scope and raised still a few $1 million. So this is obviously going to be a much higher thing.
I'd imagine they'd have investors and backers, though, that would be bolstering that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing, which is so in the TSA comments, Kenny Casey was saying that he doesn't believe that Sony was paying for development, only marketing, whereas our mighty leader Teflon, who is still marked as being community team, even though he is editor-in-chief of the site, has come back and said that, in fact, Sony have said they are helping to fund it, depending on the success of the Kickstarter. Obviously, the Kickstarter was very successful, but it is unclear exactly how they're going to be funding it. So it might just be marketing. I would imagine, though, they will be paying some money towards the actual development costs rather than just the marketing costs. It's also interesting that they did say a little while ago something along the lines of, "We will ensure it comes to market if it gets funded," which sounds like a threat.
Yeah. Oh, you will get Shenmue.
Like, that sounds like
You asked for this.
that sounds like something the mafia would fucking say. She's like, "Oh, we will ensure it arrives." You're like, okay, yeah. Chill, guys. It's fine. Yeah, but that's it.
You asked for it.
Yeah, we did ask for it. We paid a lot of money to get towards it. I mean, I assume you've backed a huge portion of this, Lewis.
Mine was pretty much 5 million. Yeah.
Generous.
He's generous.
That's what Shenmue does to me, though.
I backed it for the whole $29.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for contributing. You know, every little helps.
Well.
But I think we got this.
Yeah.
Okay. They've already taken
I didn't
it.
back anything.
Oh, right, okay.
And in the final bit of news, as I've given Lewis good news in the Shenmue form, this is news entirely to wind him up. I want you to know that I've broken my wrist. Lewis hates me bringing this up because he said that I'm just going to blather on about it all episode and use it for sympathy, basically. I think I deserve a little bit of sympathy because...
I need to get a crowd sound going.
Before we give you sympathy,
Yeah.
can you explain to the people at home how you got this broken wrist?
So I was fighting off a lion, and
You actually came away surprisingly well.
Okay, do you want to try it again, but with the truth?
so the truth is, I was playing football in goal, and I put my hand up to stop a shot, and my wrist went over backwards and broke.
If that's
That's
what's going
horrible.
to happen every time a goal tries to go in, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I know. I really should be more like I should probably just let more goals in. To be fair.
That's what I do.
What
That's
you
my
need
tactic.
is an exosuit style thing, like the latest Call of Duty, but goalkeeping edition.
Yes, that'd be perfect. Well,
Make it work.
see, what I actually said was to the striker who shot and broke my bones. I told him that if he was better at football, it wouldn't have happened because he would have just beaten me, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. So,
But a regular weight football wouldn't usually break a wrist, would it?
oh fuck you, Kev.
Is it carried by an African swallow?
Yeah. So it was wet, and so the ball was heavier. So I believe that
Because he's playing with a piece of coral.
I am. That's how I play football.
Spiky.
Yeah, the ball was quite heavy because it was very waterlogged. So
I-
that may have contributed. I don't know.
I do
You know when
feel
people
that
talk
you need
about
a new
waterlogged football, that's usually talking about the pitch, right?
Yeah.
No, balls are heavier when they're wet. It's
I'm
a thing.
not entirely sure that they're that much heavier.
Is that science?
Like the only extra bit of weight would be the weight of the droplets on the ball.
Well, I stopped a couple of shots
It
earlier.
was very heavy rain that day.
I stopped a
It
couple.
was fat rain.
I stopped a couple of shots earlier in the night where the ball definitely felt heavier than it normally does. So this is not just the one shot that actually damaged me.
So we've gone from saving one shot to the equivalent of I loosened it for you.
No.
Was it the ball wasn't regulation and actually sucked up more water than a football
and
should?
was intended for bowling.
We were playing with one of the 1950s, the 1950s ones that are
the pigskins.
leather around cork, basically. Yeah. No.
Well, totally reasonable.
Stapled together
Yeah.
with solid gold staples.
Basically, I've got a cast on my arm for 4 weeks. Is the
I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. It's
Ah.
never fortunate, is it, when that sort of thing happens? And I'm like you in that I've never broken anything, so I'm still waiting for my breakage moment.
Yeah,
really.
it was quite frustrating that this was I had 28 years. I feel that's a good run.
Yeah, pretty good.
I've had none, so I'm aiming for my femur.
Ooh,
Ooh.
a
So
really
I think that would be.
quite a prominent one.
It would. Apparently, it's stronger than concrete, so we'll have to go some. But
My boss.
I really
I'll
wouldn't
find
like
a
to
way.
break my femur. That would be just awful.
I
really,
separated
really
my
terrible.
shoulder.
oh,
That hurt quite a bit.
Our design director managed to break 2 bones in his lower leg in one go.
nice.
So in a company of 6 people, 2 of us currently have broken bones.
How heavy was the football he tried to kick?
No, he decided to go roller skating, and he's into his 40s. It was not a good combo.
It sounds like a Richard Curtis film.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Anyway, time for what we did. Lewis and Dom, you've both been playing this game that we might have heard of. It's called Journey. I don't know what your feelings are towards this game, Lewis.
Oh, it's fucking shit, isn't it?
Oh, Lewis!
Come
Obviously,
on,
you're
you troll.
wrong.
You internet troll.
What are your actual
Well, let's
thoughts about...
check Metacritic, shall we?
So, Lewis,
Actually, that is a good
Lewis,
idea.
what
They
are your
are pretty
actual thoughts
accurate.
about Journey?
As we know from when it came out on PS3 version, I fucking love it. The playing it on
Just
PS4, I didn't realise that, or I didn't know that they were going to do anything to it. I thought it was just going to be, just released for the PS4. But
Right.
apparently, it's like 1080p and 60 frames per second and all
Is
that
it
jazz.
noticeably different
It
in
is.
its
When I was playing
presentation?
it looks very lush. But because obviously I haven't got PS3 anymore. I haven't played Journey for a long, long time.
Yeah, same.
And I remember it being good, but when I was playing it, I was like, shit, I forgot it was this good. You know, it was, it was like playing it for the first time again. It was completely spellbinding. Yeah, absolutely love it. And I completely forgot about the anonymous companions. Which as soon as the little white bit flashed up on the screen, I was like, oh, I forgot about this. And then you start singing to them and like, follow me. I just fell straight back into love with it. I did think though, if you're going to remaster it and send it back out, that is one game that could do with the photo mode.
Yeah, that's very true. It looks gorgeous as well. Like the PS4 version of it looks.
It is gorgeous, but I thought I'd love a photo mode. But then I suppose if you're immersed into it and you got the anonymous companion and you're going about the game together,
that's very
breaking for the photo mode might sort of hinder that experience. But it's beautiful and it's just still amazing, absolutely amazing.
It'll be like waiting for your wife to take a picture of your tea to go on Instagram, which happens a lot in our house.
Does she go around to all the punters and just be like, can I just take a picture of your food?
No, she does tend to leave the customers alone. I think.
And when you say tea, do you mean that in a northern way to mean like your food?
Dinner, yes. Sorry.
Right, I thought you meant your cup of...
A cup of black pudding.
That's a delicacy up here.
Should mention that black pudding is a reference to a joke that we said off air before we started recording, because the listeners are going to be like, what?
All the listeners need to know is that black pudding is delicious, as has been established.
Yes.
Yes, that has been established.
And I still think that Austin Wintory's...
This is a totalitarian state. Yes.
I still
think that Austin Wintory's soundtrack for Journey is probably the finest soundtrack written for a game.
I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe not, but it's my most listened to soundtrack of all time.
It is up there, and it is good to re-experience that in its like I say, playing it as if it was my first go again, experiencing all that again was brilliant. I fell straight back into love with it.
Awesome.
What about you, Dom?
I wrote about it, which basically I was a little concerned that I just gushed for 1,000 words about just how incredible the game is. And it was a while since I played it on PS3, and originally I'd completely sort of made sure I didn't read anything about it, so things like the companions I didn't know anything about. And it felt like that was the only thing that was like less revelatory about returning to it on PS4, because I knew that was going to happen at some point. But overall, it's just incredible, and I get why some people think there's nothing there, and I get why some people say it's boring. Obviously, they're wrong, but it's just. I mean, if you get towards games being art, this is a piece of art.
You can press the share button at any point, and whatever picture you get is.
Yeah, you were talking about photo mode. That's pretty.
Yeah, but I've taken a few photos like that using the share mode, but you have to
set them all up in game beforehand, I guess.
Yeah, and you have to manipulate the camera, and sometimes because you've got the TheSixthAxis tilt control as well on the camera.
Yeah,
it can be a bit fiddly trying to get the exact shot you want, and I just think a camera mode to be able to go in and swing around and do all that sort of jazz would be really good. But like I say, I don't want it to detract from the experience. I read your piece, Dominic.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. I was interested looking at the comments. The one that made me laugh was Tactical 20 turned around and said that he went, I played it, didn't find it remotely emotional. Lol. In fact, it was pretty boring.
How is that a lol?
Let's not take. He's got an opinion, and then he says, in fact, it was pretty boring experience. I didn't think it looked particularly pretty, and when I saw someone else, I didn't really care. It's insanely overrated, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Doesn't sound like he got on well with that at all.
No,
wrong.
Which was quite strange, because actually, it's the one and only negative comment I've heard about Journey over the PS3 and the PS4 version.
I don't know, I've heard grumbles about it, and that you just push forward the entire time, and that's all you do. But I think you're missing the point. I think it's almost deliberately trying to say, I don't like this game because everybody else thinks it's incredible. But then it's the same thing as we all like different games, and things like I always think that music's the key one, is that it's just chemical in your brain. If something you hear sets off particular things in your brain that make you say this is incredible, then it just does. And I think maybe Journey's a lot like that.
Yeah, I think that's why soundtracks in general, but Wintry's soundtrack to it is perfect, because I think if you strip that away, I'd be quite interested to play it without the soundtrack. Maybe I'll just mute it, but I'd still like the sounds. But
it's on YouTube.
Oh, is it? What, without the soundtrack?
The soundtrack, yeah. I was listening to it.
I reckon it'd be.
Do you mean? The soundtrack's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant listen to play the game without the soundtrack.
Oh.
Because I reckon that would change the connection to it quite a lot. Because his soundtrack is so phenomenal that.
Yeah, it does feel like an absolutely integral part of the game experience, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So, and like I say, it's more than just muting the TV, because you'd want to hear the ambient sounds and
the sound of the wind and the sounds and everything like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, but I'd be interested to see how that played without that, because I think, like you say, Kev, I think it is an integral part, and I think those, the crescendos and the hits and stuff, they key into the game brilliantly and set it up for, like you say, Dom, your emotional attachment, because music does that. You hear a certain chord or whatever, and it immediately will evoke an emotion, whether it be happy or sad or whatever. So
yeah, it's amazing. That's the thing to.
So worth a repurchase on the PS4, would you say?
You don't even need to repurchase it. If you've bought it before, you get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just downloaded mine.
Wow.
Which more games companies should do.
Yeah.
Like Bethesda are doing with Dishonored-ish, with the definitive edition. It's going to be £15 if you've got it already.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That everybody should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind paying like a little bit again. Like, I think 15 is reasonable.
Yeah, £15-20.
Because like you have to think, like, it costs the money to port that. Like, it's not the same as building a full game, but yeah, it still costs the money to build the thing.
Yeah.
So,
but if you have it already,
yeah,
it's nice to have the option.
No, exactly.
How do they know if you have it already? Because I had it, and I think all my saves and stuff are still there, but I haven't got the disc anymore.
You have to have it digitally. But then again, Dishonored was on PS Plus, so most people will have it, the PS3 edition anyway.
Oh, right, I see. Sorry,
Sorry, I'm very tired.
Is that because you got a broken wrist?
It's because I did not sleep well last night because I have a broken wrist, yes.
It is.
Sorry, you asked me a question.
We do genuinely feel sorry for you, Chris.
No, you don't. I'd say Lewis definitely doesn't. Right, but that's enough about that wonderful Journey game, and we're going to go in a completely different direction. Time to talk about dinosaurs, because Jurassic World was pretty fucking sweet, right, guys? Except for Kev.
Well, it might still be for me. I don't know yet.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was really fun.
My thing about it was I went and watched it on because I was just busy and I couldn't go see it, so I went and watched like the last day it was in the cinema, like the very last showing at that cinema, right?
Yeah.
And it was me sitting probably halfway forwards in the cinema, completely by myself, and behind me were maybe 4 families with young kids, like further back.
Yeah.
And so there were certain points of that film which obviously the intention is not that you laugh, but I definitely laughed. And I went, oh shit, there's kids, and just like covering it up, because if I laugh, it's really obvious what guy is laughing, while these kids are slightly horrified that a dinosaur just ate a guy. And I'm just like, nah, this is pretty fucking funny.
Parents are slowly backing away up the cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep away from the lone crazy man.
Yeah, but for me, that film is really a parable about people who are terrible at their jobs.
Isn't the whole series?
like, because like at least in Jurassic Park 1, like, because in Jurassic Park 1,
sabotage.
Yeah, it was sabotage, and 2 and 3 are like just
morons.
The end of 2 is idiots, but 2 is like, okay, we'll try to do this other thing, and 3 is let's save the kid for some reason. But this one is
who seems to be pretty good at like just surviving on his own anyway.
Kid survived pretty solidly.
Like 6 months on a
that
dinosaur
kid is proper
island.
annoying though.
Yeah,
and his mum.
Yeah, fuck his
Oh no, that's Taya Leone.
Yeah, but she
You leave her alone.
shouts the whole time.
But Jurassic Park 4 there's no excuse in that film. Just everyone, with the exception of Chris Pratt, is awful at their job.
Yeah. No, well, to be fair, it's not that they're awful at their job. It's that they've just so happened to have made an extremely intelligent dinosaur. They didn't know it was going to be that intelligent.
I think making a dinosaur seems like the first mistake they've made there.
Yeah. That was pretty big. Although, because before I went and saw it, obviously all the trailers and stuff, and I did think, oh my god, they've genetically modified dinosaurs and all that jazz. But I loved the explanation of it, because it was almost a sort of a commentary on the film series. You know, she said quite plainly and simply, we're running. You know, we need money. They want bigger and better, and you sit there and think, yep, I'll accept that, because here I am on the fourth film. The first one, I was happy with a T-Rex. The second one, I was happy because there was 2 T-Rexes.
And
the third
on
one,
the boat?
T-Rex wasn't good enough. Give me an Egypticus Spinosaurus or whatever it's called.
Spinosaurus.
And now you got the Indominus Rex, and I was like, yeah, I'll accept that, because that's exactly. I'm sat here on the 4th Jurassic Park film expecting bigger and better.
Yeah, it all makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Have you seen the thing off of the internet that's the Xenomorph Rex? Because it's amazing. It's like if an alien had like impregnated a T-Rex and then made an alien
That would
T-Rex.
be the most dominant life force in the universe.
Yeah. It was originally a thing that somebody did on DeviantArt, and then somebody else went, that's awesome, and made a 3D model of it. Like a really cool 3D model of it.
I'm going to go have a look.
But my general thing as well about it is, there's 2 things about the park. One is the fact that they reference, early in the film, they reference like Jurassic Park as a failure, and how they like try and not mention the original Jurassic Park.
The bloke with the t-shirt.
Yeah, he's got a t-shirt on, and they're like, we don't like to talk about the original park. And you're like, so you have evidence, and you are well aware of this original park on the same fucking island that failed, but you're like,
went terribly, terribly wrong.
But our park will probably be fine. And secondly, the engineers at that place are awful, because every single system. Normally, if you have a good complicated system, you try and build in several fail safes, right? So that if the system fails, it fails in a safe way. Because people who don't seem to understand that a failsafe is not something that stops it failing. It's something that if it fails in a way that is still safe.
Yeah.
I think every single system in Jurassic World fails deadly. Every single one of them is just built in such a way as like, so are there any backups to the system? No, not really. It's just pretty much this system, and that's basically it. Like, this doesn't seem ideal.
The hardest thing I have to get over with Jurassic World and Jurassic Park in general is that in this day and age, there's no way these things would happen because of health and safety.
Yeah. Mind you, the Jurassic Park was 91. Back then, they didn't give a shit.
That's true, yeah.
I think I was talking to Dabs about it on Twitter, and because I'd gone to see it when it just came out, so we were avoiding spoilers. But so we messaged each other, and we were saying it is a great film. A couple of flaws, but we can look past them because you didn't expect much. But I did say to him that with the enclosure for the Indominus Rex, you'd think you'd have like machine gun or anti-aircraft turrets.
Yeah, be careful here not to spoil it for Kev though. But
no, wait. But you'd think you'd have like 2 or 3 around the perimeter of that.
Well, I'm guessing the thing escapes from its enclosure.
That are manned 24 hours a day on a rotation.
Yeah.
Or even like
on the off chance that he was
AI.
As they say, though,
2015,
they've spent $26 million making it. They're not just going to shoot it.
No, but if it gets out, you'd want to do something.
But then
you want to say
otherwise what happens is what happens.
Also, what I did like about it was the fact that they, although you talk about like health and safety, there is the bit early on where they're saying what the people say we need to have higher walls around the Rex enclosure.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is kind of that as a thing, like that. I think that's kind of there. That health and safety have judged bits of the park to be safe and required them to be safer than they were previously.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, that park is still like super not safe. Like
that Xenomorph Rex, by the way, is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it
So
does
good,
look
isn't it?
Incredible.
I want that in a film on its own,
Yeah.
not affiliated with Jurassic Park or Aliens. Give it its time. The
Or at least as a toy on my desk.
yeah, that would be so good. 3D print it. Someone should 3D print
I
it
don't
and sell it.
Yeah, I don't have that capability.
I mean, overall though, like I really like Chris Pratt's character in it. I think Chris Pratt is a good central character. He plays that role really well.
He is. I also like the U-turn that Bryce Dallas Howard's character did.
Yeah, she comes across very well. Well, except for the fact that she's like wears fucking heels for the entire movie, including
That's not
scenes
practical.
when she's in the jungle.
But towards the end, I think that makes her quite badass. It's like, yeah, she's female, but she's kicking ass.
But there's
also
also
massively
I
sexist.
But this is
Yeah, because they don't usually, do they, females?
No,
but this,
they don't.
this is not a point to. This is not really a spoiler, Kev. There's a point where she's with Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt's like, "You should probably take your heels off. We're in the jungle." And her response is to alter the rest of her clothing, but not to take her shoes off, and then be like, "Well, I'm ready now." And Chris Pratt's like, "I no. I said you should change your shoes. You changed everything but your shoes. That's a terrible
like
idea."
him. I also liked the way they handled the training the raptors, because again, you watch the training and you think you can't do that with raptors, but actually once you think, no, that makes sense.
Well, to be fair, based like when you watch the trailer, based on your perception of how the raptors are trained, the film is like, no, you can't train raptors like that. The film makes that very clear. The raptors are trained in a very specific way, and they make
behavior as you would, and they're very intelligent creatures,
and they make it very clear like what the limits are.
Yeah. So I liked how it addressed all of those possible plot holes and things quite happily and quite quickly. They didn't dwell on it. They're just like, yep, we need bigger dinosaurs because this is the reason.
Yeah.
Now kill people.
Yeah, there are definitely.
It was like the equivalent of Dinosaur Mad Max for 1.5 hours.
There are points later in the film where it starts to become super dumb plot wise, though.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't touch on it too much without spoiling it for Kev, but yeah, there's like just some stuff that happens, particularly with the genetic scientist, all that kind of that subplot. He is like, yeah, this is super fucking dumb, and also, how is InGen run as a company? This corporate structure is very confusing.
I like the fact that you've gone to see Jurassic World and are now picking apart the business model of InGen.
I was like, who is in charge of this company? It's very odd. Yeah, that's just.
By the looks of it, the scientist guy.
Yeah, it does seem to be that guy. And
also, he's become very menacing.
Yes.
He was quite lovable.
He was really
in
nice in
Park,
the first
and now
one.
he's quite sinister.
Yeah, God knows. It's not. It doesn't seem to be that he has like, because even the traitor dude in the first one, like the programmer guy, is like, oh, I have gambling debts. The genetic guy is just like, nah, fuck all you guys. He just turns into a mad scientist, and he's like, okay.
Wow.
20 years
God
of
complex.
Dinosaurs will do that to a person.
Yeah. But did we like it overall though?
I did.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it is. I would say as well, it's definitely better than 2 and 3. I still don't think it's as good as 1. I still don't think
nowhere near as good as 1.
It's not as good as 1, but it is definitely better than 2 and 3.
It's different because one was a groundbreaking,
absolutely
brilliant film that just was so amazing.
The other thing I really want to say about it though is I like the way it plays homage to 1 in several points in the film.
Yeah,
it does it really nicely.
The flare bit I like.
Yeah.
The trousers, not the lighty thing.
No, I really like. I can't say that because that is a big spoiler. But yeah, there's certain bits where stuff from the first park is just referenced openly, and it's really cool. Like it's a really nice way to be like, hey, this happened like 20 years ago, and it's nice that they're saying it happened 20 years ago in that universe as well.
Yeah.
I like the fact because 2 and 3 they tried to recreate the sort of magic of Jurassic Park 1 without without like you say, paying homage to it or referencing it. Whereas this one, it knew that it had to in order to give it credit, if that makes sense. But they weren't trying to be Jurassic Park 1. They were trying to be. They are completely different films in that 4 is a true popcorn film. Whereas I think 1 is just
Oh, for sure.
amazing.
But the other thing about 4 is that 1 is like the plot is very much about the folly of man.
Yeah.
And 4 is about it again, like because it's the 1 is about the folly of, well, this has never been done before, but I'm sure we can do it fine. Whereas Jurassic World is about, this has been done before and they fucked it up, but we definitely won't fuck it up.
Yeah, no, Jurassic Park 1's about basically man being naive.
Yeah.
And then Jurassic Park 4 is man being arrogant.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just because someone else made a mistake doesn't mean I'm going to make the same mistake.
Yeah.
And that's just great. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth watching, and is easily the second best film in the Jurassic Park franchise. And unlike 2 and 3, has stuff that you can really recommend in it. It has stuff in it that is super dumb as well, that I think I would like. That it would not. I would not have been like, if the dumb stuff in there was in the first Jurassic Park would have irritated me slightly, but the dumb stuff is overcome by the fact there's also kind of awesome stuff that really works. Whereas in The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, there's just so much dumb stuff that it's really hard to get past.
There was only one, because without obviously going into spoilers, I'm not entirely sure of what bits you're talking about, but for me, there was only one bit in the entire film that I felt could have been done with a greater effect, or to a better sort of conclusion, if you like, and that was the very end of it. And it's only a small thing. I just didn't enjoy the way that it all climaxed. I thought there was another way they could have done it, which again isn't, it's not great that I can't reveal it for you, but I just think there is a smarter way of doing it that would have made it a bit more fun, and also would have been another nod to other big creature features. I'll explain once Kev sees it.
Breaking news: Jurassic World sequel is coming in 2018.
See, now this is where it starts to get ridiculous.
We also, based on how Jurassic World ends, we know exactly what's going to happen, and also it fits very closely with the stuff that was leaked about a possible Jurassic Park sequel in the past.
Yeah,
and
wasn't the
we can't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
No, but Trevorrow's initial sort of teaser for Jurassic World in the first place featured it. It was like the footage that he made in order to prove to the studio that he can make it, and so it was on the beach with the beach hut and the lifeguards. That one, yeah. That was the initial. That was like the footage that they released once he'd got the green light and stuff, because that was what he showed to the studio to get the green light.
Oh, okay.
Well, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are returning anyway, so.
Well, there's a bit of hope there, but I just hope it doesn't get ridiculous, because you'd think after 4 films, people would be like, can we just stop with the dinosaurs, please? It clearly doesn't work well with man.
Yeah, but given that we're pretty confident where we know what's going to be in the next one, and also given that what happens in this one is very much like, that's a terrible plan, that's not going to work. So you're like, no, guys, don't do that. That's a dumb idea. But they're still going to do it.
You know what's a better idea?
Is it talk about Mountain Goat Mountain?
No, Xenomorph Rex.
That's an even worse idea.
If you're going to start doing it,
it'd be such a good film, though, wouldn't it?
Bring it out somewhere.
Anyway, Kev, should we talk about Mountain Goat Mountain?
Okay. So I've been playing Mountain Goat Mountain on the iPhone 6 Plus. I believe it's available for all models of iPhone up to, doesn't matter, down to a reasonable level of the past. It's published by Zynga for full.
You work for Zynga.
I was going to say, for full disclosure, the company that I work for is owned by a company which is owned by Zynga. So, but I'm not affiliated in any way with Mountain Goat Mountain, and it does not in any way change my opinion of the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and describe it for you. It's basically a sort of isometric mountain climbing version of Crossy Road.
Okay, I'm kind of into that.
And so everything's made up of little blocks. And so I guess you could compare it with like Minecraft, but I guess those comparisons are a little old now. It's just like mountains made of squares, and the aesthetic is totally different. Like it's quite cartoon style. And you start with a regular mountain goat, and the kind of the reward system in the game is new goats to jump up the mountain with. That don't do anything sort of stats-wise or anything like that, but they do completely change the visuals of the game. So when you start, it's just a sort of grassy mountain, and there's like boulders that you have to watch out for and logs falling down, and there's these springboards, and then there's also a spring pickup, which gives you invulnerability for a time, and also the ability to jump up any distance. So usually you can only jump one square at a time.
Okay.
But with the springboard, with the spring power up, you kind of go into a chrome goat mode, and you can just jump, and you just basically frantically tap until your stuff runs out, and then you inevitably die because you didn't realize you would run out of the invulnerability. And so, yeah, it's very simple. The premise is very simple, and the execution is pretty simple as well. But like it's very nicely polished. There's 22 goats available at the time of recording. I have, I believe, 9 goats at the moment. I'm using Billy the Kid, which is a sort of cowboy goat. Yeah, good.
See what they did there.
Which changes the goat to wear a cowboy hat and bandana over his face, and the mountain becomes like a sort of savanna. And instead of like crumbling rocks, it's got like these wooden scaffolds that sort of fall apart. And instead of trees, it's got cacti and that sort of thing. But there are lots of different kinds of goats. I've got like one with earmuffs that makes it into a snowy mountain, like a Japanese geisha goat who turns it so there's like cherry blossom everywhere and it's at night. I've got a night vision goat which has stealth goggles. It's called stealth goat or something like that, and it's got got night vision goggles, and like it starts off basically pitch black, and then it's like and
well,
like
obviously it's gonna have those night vision goggles, you know.
So then you're playing in night vision mode in the dark. So yeah, like it's not trying to do anything particularly complicated, and it's essentially Crossy Road in that it's an endless not an endless runner, but an endless sort of mover. And there's you get used to certain patterns of like rock formations and crumbly bits, and you can kind of learn how to navigate certain bits. But my best is 303 meters, and I really feel like I could do better than that, but I definitely can't because I've tried a lot. I got that within the first 3 hours of playing, and have never been able to get to 300 again. So. But yeah, it's a freemium title, so there are coins, and every goat you get costs 100 coins, and you earn coins in the level. And every 24 hours you get a treasure chest which has some coins in. But you can also watch a video to get some more coins. I'm just trying to see if there's a store. I'm certain there is because it's that kind of game, but I don't tend to look for these things.
Yeah, if it's
usually.
like a free-to-play game, you'd expect there to be something.
Yeah, don't know. Oh, you can just buy. Oh crap! Did I just buy? Maybe I did just buy. You can buy
have
goats.
to type your password in to buy stuff.
Yeah, it's okay. I haven't. You can just buy goats outright for 79p each. So it's quite direct with its pricing structure. It's just like, yeah, here are all the goats. You can buy whatever one you want. Like, because you can see a preview of all of them and the sort of land that they produce. I really do want Dubstep Goat, which has like basically some beats by Dre on. And it turns the mountain into what looks like sort of VR cubes.
Get that. I will buy it and I'll give you the money.
But yeah, even the music and everything changes. So this is the like Billy the Kid.
Okay, that's nice.
That's the sort of country western style thing. The regular. Sorry, that's just me changing goats. The regular music is a sort of.
Oh, I love that. What one's that?
That's just the opening goat.
Oh, there's no need to get another goat.
It's kind of got that little vibe about it, hasn't it? But yeah, no, I really recommend it. It's quite a charming little game, and like I say, it's not trying to do much, but what it does do, it does it quite well. and it's free. So why not?
Yeah, give it a try. I definitely will give it a try. If it's a little bit like Crossy Road, and from the mechanics, just what you said about the unlockable characters, I really want to play that.
Yeah.
Now, Dom.
Me.
Are you aware that I'm a big Godzilla fan, Dom?
Oh, I didn't know that, Chris.
So tell me. I mean, the other guys know this, right?
I had no idea.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's come up a couple of times in the podcast. But I enjoy Godzilla and the premise of Godzilla.
Yeah.
So
Even Sony's Zilla.
That's
from the 90s.
That's a pretty terrible film, but I do kind of like it. The ending makes
Even the Matthew Broderick film.
The ending makes me sad. Like where the it's like lying on the bridge and you can hear its heart beating. That made me bummed out.
Yeah.
But so you've been playing the Godzilla game presumably on PS4.
Yeah.
Is it shit?
There's some tiny little enjoyable nugget of game in there. That
is it the bit where you get to just like smash shit up as Godzilla?
Yeah, is yeah.
Because that's kind of the bit that I don't really care about anything else.
I saw a trailer for this game and it looks like PS2 era graphics.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly like the cities and stuff are pretty much something that you would have seen, 10 years ago.
Going to have a look. I'm intrigued.
The actual monsters themselves look like they did in the Japanese movies, and like some bits, like the tutorial plays in grainy black and white. It looks like the first movie.
That's awesome.
And
I'm super involved with that.
Well, that's it. As first impressions go, it was this could be really good.
Also, it doesn't look that bad in the screenshots.
No, it's so slow. The control system is just unnecessarily weird.
Okay.
And
the thing is, I can half get on board with the slowness. Like Godzilla is not a quick guy. Like he's a big dude. He's going to move slowly.
He's got bigger over the ages, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Started off only 50 meters tall. Now he's just 100 meters tall, so doubled in size over the time.
Yeah, I think the biggest.
Also, we're about to Kev. 50 meters is still pretty fucking tall.
Yeah, it's still like building sized.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just not necessarily skyscraper sized.
He didn't start out like just the way you phrased it. It sounded like he started out like.
He started off in a small like a mouse cage.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that. He started off huge and has progressed to fucking huge, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dom. Cut you off there just to clarify something.
No.
I've just sent to the... unfortunately, I don't have the means to send this to you, the listener, but I've just sent you guys a chart with some illustrations of his
so hopefully I'll remember
approximate
to put this
size changes.
In the notes.
What is Sony Zilla? Is that the Broderick film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever it being called Zilla.
It wasn't.
No.
It's retrospectively called Zilla.
Because they can't call it
because it's so
Godzilla,
shit.
because
Basically-
it's definitely not the same creature.
Basically, they refused. No, it's not even because of copyright reasons. It's basically they refuse to accept that it is in fact a Godzilla film because
it's just not canon.
They're like, nope, fuck that
Not
film.
that it's really canon anyway,
But-
is it? It's just
No, but they are basically like, fuck that. It was terrible. We ain't having this. And so yeah, which I'm kind of on board with, to be honest, because although that film is an interesting film, it's definitely not anything like other Godzilla films in any way.
No.
This gameplay video is shocking.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? I mean, was it made by a very small team?
I mean, it's Namco Bandai, so I mean, you don't know how much money they threw at it, but that's not a small company. I think the biggest problem that I had with it ultimately was when I found out that it's £45 on the digital store.
Jesus.
It's a full priced title, and that's putting it against every other AAA release, and it's just not remotely in the same league at all. And if I thought it was £20 or £15 or something, I really thought that it was a budget title, PSN sort of Xbox Live release, and then found out it wasn't. If it's £7 in a sale later on PSN, and you're a Godzilla fan, it's worth it. It's worth downloading because you'll have fun for a day mashing.
Oh,
buildings
fuck you!
up.
I can play as Mechagodzilla and Mothra. No, I'm buying this. This looks awesome.
£45, Chris.
But I can play as I love Mechagodzilla. It's pretty great.
Do you know what's upsetting me the most looking at the gameplay?
What's that?
Two things. One, he doesn't need to move his legs to move. Like, he goes to lift his leg, but he stays still, and then the environment rotates, and he slides along the floor doing some sort of weird moonwalk. But also, when he's damaging stuff, it doesn't break according to where he's damaging it.
No.
Like, he swings his tail, it goes through whatever he's hitting, and then after a certain amount of time, the whole thing just blows up in a predetermined animation.
Oh,
you just
yeah.
think, oh, come on, people.
No. And
That had potential.
it really did have
And you can play
potential.
as King Ghidorah. What's wrong with you? This looks
Who the
awesome.
fuck is King Ghidorah?
He's like the big three-headed dude.
Oh, that one.
If you're massively into Godzilla, you'll find bits to like about it. But the underlying game is not a very good game, especially not at the price that they want to charge for it.
Alright. I think that's kind of fair.
£45. That is absurd.
But I kind of like... I guess what I kind of like about it is the idea that they've just gone, like... Okay, the Godzilla series is inherently stupid, so fuck it. Let's just have you smash a bunch of buildings and you can fight characters from the Godzilla series.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to make a Godzilla game... Because, do you remember, like, the best Hulk game is considered what's considered to be the best Incredible Hulk game is that one where you're Hulk and you can just fuck the environment up.
Ultimate Destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of plot in that game, but people just liked it because you could fuck shit up.
But Hulk was a lot of fun to play in that game.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do understand your point that, like, Godzilla is very slow, but are the other characters faster?
No.
Because you'd expect like Mothra to be reasonably fast. Like Mothra flies.
Yeah, I mean, the flying ones just sort of, I think, more or less move at exactly the same speed. And some of their attack animations might make them look quicker, but they just flow unbelievably slowly across the landscape.
Can you play as Sony's Zilla? That's what I want to know.
I don't think he's in it. You can play as the original movie Godzilla, and you can play as the Godzilla from last year's one. But I think they've kind of pretended that Matthew Broderick's Godzilla didn't exist, which is a shame because the soundtrack's amazing.
No, it's
They've got Space Godzilla.
So the interesting thing about so I kind of got this wrong, which is why I should have corrected myself. The interesting thing about the Zilla film is not that it's not canon; it's just they refuse to accept that creature is Godzilla. So that's why it's called Zilla. It's a different creature. It's just a different monster. You get to fight it in one of the it's in one of the Godzilla games. I think it's in one of the films. Maybe I'm not sure. It's definitely in one of the Godzilla games though. That
Right.
It's like Zilla is just a different creature, and Godzilla goes and just fucks him up basically. Like real Godzilla goes and just beats the shit out of him. It's pretty great.
That's
I'm gonna look that up because I can't remember.
It's
what
their
it is.
way of saying, fuck you, Sony.
Zilla, formerly known as Godzilla, is a kaiju that appeared in the titular 1998 film Godzilla. Yeah, so he's just called Zilla now. And he appears in Godzilla Final Wars. That's it, in the film Godzilla Final Wars. And I think he just gets fucked up, basically. But I kind of like that they were like, well, we will accept that this is a creature and a monster, but we're not accepting it's Godzilla. It's just a different dude. I just imagine like real Godzilla being like, man, what the fuck are you doing calling yourself Godzilla? That's not Godzilla. I'm Godzilla.
Who is this chump going around masquerading as me?
Yeah, so it says in this, Godzilla first encountered Zilla, but quickly uses atomic breath to finish Zilla off, much to the controller's dismay. So basically they put Godzilla in a place where he can like, they try and kill him off with other monsters, I think, and I haven't seen this film, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is saying to me. This Wikipedia summary. And Zilla, they're like, Zilla will definitely take him out, and Godzilla kills him basically instantly. Which is just, that's great. That is as you said, Lewis. That's a proper fuck you. Right,
which is the adequate response.
It is the correct. Like, there's a lot to like in that film, but
he smashes through the Sydney Opera House pretty quickly.
But as a Godzilla film, it's a terrible Godzilla film. But as like a monster action film, it's not too bad.
Oh yeah, it does get taken out in less than 50 seconds.
Are you watching it?
Yeah.
Great. It does seem like from this summary, it does seem like it's just pretty fucking easy for Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just sort of.
It's just great because it's like
he just throws him into Sydney Opera House and then explodes Sydney Opera House.
Brilliant. Yeah. I just love that Godzilla's like, is this
Sydney Opera House is infamous for its flammable properties.
But it's just the idea that Godzilla is kind of like, is this meant to be a challenge?
It's really weird. This is
what is this pointy building?
A really weird thing.
Right.
The music whilst it's happening, I don't know if this is actually in the film. It's like some noughties new metal soundtrack.
I hope it is. I hope it is.
I mean, like Sum 41.
I might buy that. I might see if I can buy that. Lewis, anyway. Hello, Lewis.
Hi.
I hear that. Is there a quiz?
No.
Okay. What's with the no quizzes, Lewis?
Yeah. It's like
they take a long time.
No, we really appreciate them. That's why we just miss them.
Presumably you're less busy now because school's finished.
Well, the kids left yesterday. I'm still in work today and tomorrow.
Yeah, but like next week.
Oh no, for the next 5 weeks I'll be right.
All right, good.
So I might do it depending on
how
if
arsed
I'm
you
not
can
just
be.
Sat around all day
in your pants
trying to entertain you lot.
Cheers, mate.
All right. So no quiz this week, so it is question time.
Question time. Any questions?
There are some questions.
That's
Let me
lucky.
just find them. Not me says.
Ooh,
can we talk about
one?
Can we talk about Godzilla more?
Oh, well, we really did quite a lot just now.
Mm.
Oh, that
knows the answer to not me.
Okay. Not me. I like to clarify. Not me was clearly not me.
No, of course.
But that's a first-time question from Not Me, I believe.
Yeah.
Welcome, Not Me, aka you.
Jasnam says, "Is it Dino Week?" Well, we talked about dinosaurs and Godzilla, but Godzilla's not really a dinosaur. But like, he's kind of like a dinosaur, sort of. But I guess he's more like a dragon because he does breathe fire.
Yeah, Zilla is much more dinosaur-y, I think.
Yeah, Zilla is really dinosaur-y because I don't think Zilla breathes fire, right?
No,
not that I remember.
No, so Zilla's pretty dinosaur-y, but I think Zilla like evolves directly from they show like as a iguana or something, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he's very iguana-ish.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. It is Dinosaur Week every week on this podcast. If I had my way,
yeah.
If I could get it past the other guys, it would just be all dinosaurs all the time. On Friday, I was talking to my friends about whether or not I should become a paleontologist.
Yeah, you should.
Oh. All right.
It seems. I mean, not that I want to stop you because I think go for it if that's what you want to. It seems like a late choice.
I'm only 28. When
did
did you become a teacher, Lewis?
I imagine today. Not today.
No, when did you start working towards becoming a teacher? What age?
When did you step onto that career path?
I started working in a school 4 years ago. 2 years ago, I started my teacher training.
So how old are you now? I forgot.
Or just how old were you then?
You're not 25. That's a lie, Lewis.
I'm 25 now. I was 23 when I started.
Lewis.
I'm pretty sure Lewis is 30.
30 something.
I think 30 dead on.
No, I think you're wrong. I think I'm 25.
Cool.
That's just not accurate. No.
I was born in fuck it, I shouldn't have started that one.
You can't do the maths. And 25 is so easy as well.
Not if it. Oh no, it is. I was going to say not if it's not a division of 5, but it's 2015,
it's 2015
currently. So
it's so easy.
I was born in 2000.
No, also wrong.
Incorrect.
The thing is,
1990.
Good luck with that
Yes.
teaching.
Yes.
the thing is,
I was 1 when Jurassic Park came out.
that's not true. The thing is, though, even if it was like, even
All right, I was 30. Stop the. I am 30. I'm not was 30. I am 30.
So
Will you
you
please
were-
stop
you were-
the Spanish
so
Inquisition.
you were 28 when you started your teacher training, is what you're saying there, Lewis.
Yes.
So if anything, you would say it's like the perfect time for a career move?
Yes. All right. Why not? Let's just apologise and get on with it.
So paleontology is... I can nearly say that word.
How long's the course? Do you know? What do you have to do? What do you have to know?
I don't know yet, Lewis. I was just wondering whether it's something I should look into. So maybe I will
Do it.
look into it more.
Although I'm fairly certain you can't just turn up to a college or a uni and be like, well, I've got a T-Rex model.
A lot of
No.
T-Rex
So,
models.
but I wonder what the what the foundation would like. Would I have to go and do more?
And what does a
A-levels
paleontologist even do these days, you know? Haven't we found them
I
all?
would. Yeah,
Well,
I
there's
would
two.
imagine
I think there's like
that's an archaeologist, isn't it?
And you,
well, there's a few branches. Like, so you do have the paleontology to go and dig up bones, but there's also ones based on like DNA evidence, and there's ones who like speculate about their habits, etc., based on other stuff, and so that's pretty interesting, I think.
and you're not worried.
I would
about,
imagine you'd at least need a high grade in biology.
Yeah, probably. I don't have a very good. I didn't do biology A level, so.
Learning about the
I'd
forms
imagine
of
you'd
life
have
that
to-
existed in former geologic periods, chiefly by studying fossils.
So it's not just dinosaurs. I would get to find out other stuff as well. Which is
There
pretty
is a
cool.
subsection of paleontologists simply called dinosaurologists, and that's
That's
true.
a fucking awesome. How
Imagine
how
that,
good would that
filling
look
out
at
your
a,
car insurance form? What's your occupation? Dinosaurologist.
No, but would,
that
like if
sounds
that was
like
your
what my 4-year-old son would want to be.
I know, right? But if that was your job, you would have business cards printed, right, and just hand them out to anyone you met.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't ask for this. I know, but look at what I do.
You don't need to ask.
I guess the downside though is like if you had to fill in a tax form or something, it sounds fictional, right? That sounds 100% like you made that up.
I'm
It
being
sounds like you're
investigated
burying your
again.
money in the ground.
Like imagine putting that on the census. Like, just, oh, what's your job title? Dinosaurologist. This seems like the Jedi thing again.
Have you been burying taxable income?
Is there a Facebook group
The
that I don't know
fossils.
about? Yeah, that's what they
Joanna
might think.
says, "Is Mountain Goat Mountain another goat sim? Sort of, I guess.
It's, I guess,
Pretty much the game that Kev described.
you play
like,
as a goat.
minutes
I don't know if
ago.
that's simulating being a goat.
Yes. Teflon says this is basically just administrative. Dom, have you and Aaron set a date for this Street Fighter 5 word off?
I'm not sure he's talking about whether we're supposed to do a word off, but
Explain yourself.
The Street Fighter 5 beta is starting soon, and me and Aaron got in, so we're both supposed to be writing about it. But it doesn't start till tomorrow, so I guess we're going to play over the weekend and then write about it next week.
I argued that you should play a round per paragraph, and whoever wins the round gets to write that paragraph.
That sounds like a good plan.
I like that idea as an article.
And I should win
that
because
sounds-
I just
that
got
sounds quite good.
a new fight stick for my birthday.
I'm not entirely convinced that having a fighting stick will make you better at the game.
It makes me look better at the game.
That's accurate. I can't argue with that statement.
I'm assuming if you got a fight stick for your birthday that you are a fighter fan.
Yes, I'm not necessarily amazing at them, but we have like a fighting game night in the pub where like we set up about 8 consoles in the back room
Nice.
and play like Street Fighter 4 and Guilty Gear and Mortal Kombat and Marvel vs. Capcom and all that.
Got any
sort of
Bloody Raw in there? I was always a fan of Bloody Raw.
stuff.
That's the
Don't
one where you're
think
humans and you
anybody-
turn into animals
Yeah.
mid-fight, right?
On the GameCube and Xbox, that was the last one of that, I think.
Hmm.
I haven't played that for a long time, but I'm excited about.
I had it on the
Street Fighter
PS1.
Street Fighter 5 is pretty. To be fair, I'm kind of excited about it, but I was always more of a Tekken person, but even so, Street Fighter is still pretty great.
Yeah.
Germanus would like to know, has anyone played Ratchet and Clank 3? Just finished it. Wonderful game.
Is that up your arsenal?
That was Germanus.
How rude.
Yeah. No, was
Ratchet
it
and Clank
Your
Up Your
Oh, I
Arsenal?
don't know if it was. No, it might have been.
I'm
Is
playing
that a
Ratchet and Clank 1 for the
Is that a
first
legitimate
time.
name of a Ratchet and Clank game?
That is actually, yeah.
It is,
They've all got sort of rude names but you can play them off as
Except
not.
Cracking Time.
But you could,
I suppose Crack.
yeah. But you can play them off as as not rude for children.
Tools
of
of Destruction.
Oh, that's not no. What tools? Can be. You know.
Stretching the entendre.
Maybe
I
here.
think
reading
it was
too much
specifically talking about the weapons, i.e. the tools.
The what?
Penguins
Um.
of destruction.
So has anyone played it anyway?
I don't think so.
I think maybe I did play 3 when it was originally out.
Do you remember anything about it? Clearly not.
I remember liking it, I think.
All right, that's good.
I don't know what 3... I think the last one I played was Cracking Time, which I took a lot of joy in platinum.
I really like those
and
games. I think the world is very nicely crafted. But I don't know. Does 3 have a subtitle that I can latch onto? I don't know them by number.
You could research this.
I think it
Oh
is
yeah, I
Up
can.
Your
I
Arsenal. Let me
forget
just
that I can
double-check.
use a web browser at the same time as podcasting now.
Ratchet and Clank 3. Yeah, Up Your Arsenal.
Then no, I have not played Up Your Arsenal.
Yeah, I played it on PlayStation 2. It was fun.
And finally,
9.6 on IGN.
Wow,
4.5 out of 5 on Metacritic.
pretty good, isn't it?
That's
and
good.
finally, Hazel Matthews, also known as Haslam, would like to know, what do you guys think about the new Ghostbusters movie being made right now? I'd like to apologise for Haslam because that's been sat in the email for several weeks and I kept forgetting and I wasn't here and stuff.
She stopped listening now because you haven't bothered.
I'm hoping it's good. I'm quite excited about it. I think the time is right for a new one. It's been a long time since we've had one. I don't want it to be a disappointing remake. You know?
No.
I'm looking forward to it because I find a lot of the new Ghostbusters quite funny in their own right. I'm also just looking forward to seeing pathetic, insecure men bitching about women being in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, because
that's always fun.
it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think like Christine Wiig's very funny and Melissa McCarthy. I think it'll be good. It's got Dan Aykroyd writing it, isn't he?
Yeah, and he makes a cameo apparently.
Ace.
So, which number Ghostbusters is this? Is there I was going to say, has there only been 2 up to this point?
Yeah.
Let's see.
But I don't know if it'll be Ghostbusters 3 or if it'll be
No, I think it's just Ghostbusters.
something else. Because I don't know if it's a reboot or a sequel.
I see.
Although that said, I didn't read the actual article because I thought it was
it's
a spam.
I'm quite excited for it personally.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Like I said, I think it's a good time for a new Ghostbusters movie. Like I feel like there's a gap that could be filled with Ghostbusters again.
The lady with the glasses and the wavy hair, you know her.
Yeah.
She, I assuming, judging by the clickbait thingy, that there was a connection to the original film's hair.
It might well be,
It
but
looks a bit like Eagle.
I think I'm just kind of disappointed by the backlash against it. It's just
Why?
like I don't think there's any issue with it being
Oh, right, that, yeah.
like a all-female cast, you know.
But there was no issue in women being playable in FIFA. These people just have fucking weird concepts of where women should and shouldn't be.
Yeah, like I don't think it even
It's just
needs
the
discussion. Like it just looks like it's going to be really cool, and it's making all of the right moves so far. Like I'm excited about it. I think it doesn't even need discussion that they are women.
I think it needs discussing in the sense that people should be looking at the negative reaction and saying, right, fuck it, let's reboot every franchise in history with women.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
All female Avengers, go for it.
All the time.
I think, well, Thor is a woman in the comics now.
Yeah.
You could totally do that in the movies. Just at one point, Thor just rocks up and he's a woman now, and nobody
Just
even.
a shot from behind with the long golden hair.
Yeah.
And you think, yep, that's Thor. Turns around. Nope, it's a woman.
But nobody even comments on it in the film.
Yeah.
And just like, cool, hey Thor, what's up? And she's just like, not much. Just, picking up my hammer like I can. I mean, I'm no scriptwriter, guys, but
This stuff writes itself.
yeah,
It does. I think there's
Your films sound like they're just going to be the characters commentating what they're doing.
yeah, exactly.
I'm picking up my
Have you
hammer.
seen one of
I'm
my
about to
films?
swing it.
I also think there's definitely some Hollywood films that feel a bit like they were written by themselves. Like this, just boy, that's pretty bad. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the podcast. As per usual, I've been your host, Kris. Joining me this week was Lewis Gaston, Kev Adset, and Dominic Layton. If you would like to follow the podcast, you can go over to twitter.com/TSA podcast. You can go to TheSixthAxis.com. We have stopped posting stuff on SoundCloud for the moment, unfortunately. If you'd like it back, let us know. But what we're doing instead is going on YouTube. You can stream it there. It's much easier for us.
There was a comment on last podcast that says I did listen to it on SoundCloud. Hey ho, I'll find it some other way.
Okay.
we do say at the end of every episode all of the other ways you can.
All the other ways. You can go to Stitcher as well. It's available there. But yeah, I think if you're using it to stream on SoundCloud, like YouTube should be fine, I assume.
You can't lock your phone whilst you're...
That is
doing
true. That is true. But if you're on your phone, you could just download it with the podcast app that's presumably also on your phone.
Mm.
Yeah, we got 5 comments on last week.
That's pretty good. Are they nice?
We should read those out. If they're working.
Giuliano said, very sad start with the Iwata news. He said, every time someone said fridge, reminds me of, and then he posted a clip. And then he agreed with my sentiments on Rocket League, but then said put it on Pro and it's much better.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Ron McFatty, he said that he does like Rocket League. And then Tactical 20, the same guy that had no emotional attachment to Journey whatsoever, said, I used SoundCloud to stream, but no problem, I'll use something else. And then he said, I mean listen, not stream. So it sounds like he's going to get it another way.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, I'm glad you do listen. It's lovely. But yeah, if you'd like to get in touch, also email us like Haslam did at podcasts@thesixthAxis.com. As I said, you can tweet us, you can leave us a comment like those people did.
Write to us at the Sixth Axis Podcast, PO Box London 413.
No, that's not a thing.
Smoke signals.
Someone send something there just to see who it goes to.
No. But for now, if you'd like to get in touch personally, you can get me on Twitter as HalPro. You can get Lewis Gaston. You can get Kevin 400. You can get Dom as Dominic Layton. Just spell that out, Dom.
Like Professor Layton, except spelt different.
Yeah, it's not spelled the same.
Just
It's
like that.
Lee with a ton on the end.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So Leeton.
Leigh.
The other Lee.
NNE at the end. Is it imperial or metric ton?
God knows. No, it's metric, isn't it? Because if it's imperial, it's like NE.
Any
Okay,
what?
it's like Lee, but not the
Like any
EU
amount.
one.
Or it's just
with a T and then on, as in the opposite of
alternatively,
off.
it's
It's alternatively.
DOMINICLEIGHTT. Oh no,
Could you do that in the police phonetic alphabet that they use?
DOMINC.
It's Lima, Echo, India, Golf,
DOMINIC
Tango, Oscar, November.
Good. Well done, Lewis. You win.
HTON.
Bye.
Perfect.
But for now, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
Sorry,
everybody.
who are you? Dom
Bye.
what, sorry?
Didn't catch that last name.
Bye!
Kev.
Oh, yeah.
The Sixth Axis Podcast.
Bye.